Today I get to interview Delores Maddox. Delores and her husband moved into the North Wing a little over 9 years ago. And Donald passed away 2 years ago. And so Delores has seen a lot of changes. She volunteers now in the chapel. She handles the sound equipment there, and she rotates. And so if you watch Sunday School on EVTV, you may have Delores to thank for your video. So we're going to learn a little bit more about Delores today. So let's start, Delores, with your background a little bit. Where were you born?
In Omaha, Nebraska. I was born and raised there.
So from beginning to end, huh? I mean,
Right.
So you went to school.
Right.
Anything special in school? Just
Well, I met my husband at college at the Bethany, now college, what it was called there. Now it's SNU, SN.
well, now you told me in high school you were a twirler.
Yes, in front of the band.
So you were in the band.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Well, what made you decide to go to Bethany, to Nazarene College?
The church there in Omaha, Bethany First Church, Omaha First Church, gave me a scholarship to go for 1 semester. And that's how I happened to come to Bethany.
So you went to Sunday school at the
Bethany
church.
First Church there in Bethany.
Now, you said they picked you and your sister up? The
Yes,
church.
back at home, yes.
Yes.
Every Sunday to bring us to Sunday school and church.
So your
And
parents
we-
didn't go, and the church sent somebody
Yes.
to pick you and your sister
Yeah,
up.
right. It's a special car. It was 2 lengths long, and he made it for the teenagers for the church.
Okay.
They would all ride together.
And then they gave you a semester at Nazarene
College.
College. And so it was there that
I
you
met my
Donald.
husband, and we, on the first day they had for freshmen, we met, and they gave us a little green deal to put on our heads.
Uh-huh.
Little, I think it's called.
A
And that way,
beanie?
well, like a beanie, yeah. And we met that evening, and they had us sitting we had to sit in a row, and my husband was just behind me. And so he began to peek over and see my name and read all about me.
Uh-huh.
And so then that night they had a party for the freshmen, and then he approached me and began to talk to me. I realized he knew more about me than unusual. No. So he asked me that evening why I went with him. It just meant to be, but he asked me if I want to go for a boat ride out at the lake, Lake Overhoster.
Okay.
And so I went, and I was scared to death because it was at nighttime. So then after that, we started dating. And then he brought me home to meet his parents. And then when he asked me about getting married, I told him, he had to ask my mom first.
Yes.
So we got on the phone, and I called, and I said, Don's wanting to ask you something. So he got on the phone and talked to her, and then he handed it back to me. And she says, Delores, is this what you're running? And I said, yes, Mom, I want to marry Don. So then then that summer I moved back home, and then him and his parents came to Omaha for the wedding, of course, and we were married, and we were married 62 years.
62.
Right.
Well, he knew what he wanted, didn't he?
Right.
So how you moved back to Bethany then? You moved
Right. Right.
And what was he doing?
He worked for AT&T.
And you became a homemaker and a
Right.
mother.
Of 2 girls. We
Uh-huh.
have 2 girls.
And
And then out of the 2 girls, we have 11 grandchildren.
Awesome.
and 12 great-grandchildren.
Who are your girls and where do they live?
My oldest daughter, Deborah Lindquist now. She lives in Dallas, Texas. And my younger daughter, Diana Green, she lives in Yukon. And she's married to Mark Green, which his dad is David Green, who's owns Hobby Lobby.
Yeah. You think you can get me a discount? I'm not the first one that's asked you that, am I? Well, since Mark Green is your son-in-law, I'm sure you've been to the Bible Museum.
Yes, I have.
Well, tell me about it.
Well, it's a wonderful place. It opened in 2018 in Washington, D.C., and David Green had it built there. And the purpose is to show people that there's power in the Bible.
Right.
And it's 3 floors. And there's a history Bible, and there's a Bible that has impact on the story of the Bible, the history of the Bible, and what impact the Bible has.
It's awesome.
Yes,
I got
it
to
is.
go there.
Yeah.
And I saw a replica of the village where, like,
Yes.
Jesus would have lived.
Yes.
And, I mean, there's lots of big exhibits there.
Yeah.
And all the Bibles, Hebrew, every language.
Yes.
It's just amazing.
That's what Mark does now. He works on getting the Bible for every,
In every language?
yes, in every language.
And does he get them distributed then? I mean, does he get them out to the people in those languages?
Well, they have to in order to get it translated.
Okay.
Yes.
And so that's what he does for
Yes,
the museum is
yeah.
get them.
He had 590 the other night to show us.
Wow.
It's in Brazil, India, different places around the world.
Well, tell us about your hobbies.
Oh, well, I love working on a computer and being on Facebook and just listening to different gospel music. And,
Well, where does that come from? That's not our generation, the computer.
well, I know my grandson, he said, Grandma, you ought to get a computer. And I said, oh, I wouldn't know how to do that. He says, you know how to read, don't you?
So you taught yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe you can teach me.
My son and I'll take it back. Phil Lindquist, my oldest daughter's husband, set it up for me. And then I took it from there.
He's an attorney.
Yes, he is.
got it all
Yes.
figured out. Well, let's talk about Epworth. What brought you here and what do you like the most?
Well, my daughter, when I realized my husband was coming down with dementia, I knew that he couldn't do things at the house or help take care, so I told my daughter we were going to have to think of a place to go. She says, Mom, we got 2 places to check out. So she took me over to the Yukon one that's over there.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't like it because you had to go outside a lot to get to the meals and things, and so
Smart.
yeah, she said, Mom, you'll like Epworth better. And Epworth has everything. They have a swimming pool, our own library, our own theater, 3 places to eat, and it's just wonderful. I've just been so glad we chose Epworth.
Right. Now, when you moved in here, you only had 1 place to eat, and
Yes.
now you have 3, and you like that.
Yes, I like the option.
And you did tell me you like the chapel.
Yes, I do. I enjoy running the camera for Sunday school.
Yes, you do.
Yes. And I do it only the first Sunday of every month, but I do enjoy it. And sometimes I fill in the month other times when people can't come or something happened, they don't show up.
Right.
So-
That's very brave of you.
Well, I enjoy doing it though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Delores. I have really enjoyed spending time with you,
Thank you.
and I thank you for doing this.
Thank you, Pat.
Okay.